Every day you wake up, remind yourself, this day will never happen again. This breath, this heartbeat, this morning light that slips through your window, it is yours alone. It is a singular miracle among a sea of possibilities that could have turned out otherwise. Remind yourself that you are here because you come from an unbroken chain of perseverance spanning over 1,000 generations. You are the descendant of those who endured wars, famines, diseases, and every manner of hardship imaginable. Their resilience lives in you. Now you carry that flame forward. This moment right now is sacred. You are living, breathing, seeing. You can walk, you can laugh, you can love. You have a roof over your head. You can take a hot shower. You can place food on your table. These blessings are often taken for granted in the modern world, but make no mistake, they are extraordinary. Even if you are stripped of modern luxuries, the Stoics would remind you, life itself is enough. Life, with all its flaws and frailties, is the most sacred possession we hold. Those who suffer from disabilities, injuries, or health challenges understand the fragility of life more than most. Yet those who have walked through the fire often emerge with a deeper gratitude because they grasp a profound truth. They still possess the greatest gift of all. Every day you wake up, someone else does not. Yesterday was never guaranteed, and tomorrow is not owed. Today is all you truly have. This is not just a poetic thought, it is the foundation for how you must live. Let this truth fuel your gratitude, your humility, and your wisdom. Let us walk together through this understanding, chapter by chapter, and cultivate the depth of living the Stoics aspired to, anchored always in the sacred miracle that is your life. Chapter 1. The Unbroken Chain. When you reflect on your existence, it is impossible not to be awestruck. Think of what it took to bring you here. Every ancestor, from the ancient hunter to the medieval farmer, from the sailor crossing uncharted waters to the worker laboring in a factory, survived long enough to pass on life. Wars swept across lands, plagues decimated populations, natural disasters reshaped continents, yet your line remained unbroken. Seneca taught that life is a loan, not a possession. We inherit it briefly before it passes on. To recognize that you are part of an unbroken chain is to see that you were entrusted with a torch. It is burning now in your hands. Your responsibility is to honor it. When you rise each morning, it is not merely another day, it is another opportunity to continue this sacred legacy, to honor the silent, unseen hands that built the path upon which you now walk. It is your chance to walk in the footprints of those who carved ways through storms, droughts, wars, and despair, often with nothing but sheer will and a dream for something better. Your very breath carries within it the echoes of voices long silent, hands long buried, hearts that once beat with the same hopes, fears, dreams, and determination that now pulse through you. Each sunrise that touches your skin is not a random event. It is the living continuation of a journey that began long before the invention of language, before the first city rose from the earth, before the first songs were ever sung. Through your actions, your kindness, your courage, you become another living link in a chain that will stretch into the infinite future far beyond your own life. Your daily efforts, no matter how small they may seem, are threads woven into the vast, intricate tapestry of human resilience and aspiration. You are not an isolated event, a passing spark in the darkness. You are a torchbearer. The choices you make today ripple outward, influencing not only your immediate surroundings, but also shaping lives you will never meet, souls you will never know, who may one day look back and be grateful for the strength and wisdom you nurtured. Gratitude should well up naturally when you truly understand this. You stand firmly on the shoulders of giants, farmers who tamed the earth, poets who spoke truth to power, warriors who defended the helpless, healers who mended broken bodies and hearts, mothers who sang lullabies through hardship, makers who built homes from dust and dreams, most of whom never knew the comforts and privileges you enjoy now. They weathered long winters without heat, crossed oceans without maps, faced illnesses without medicine, and still they dreamed, they loved, they lived fiercely. Their sacrifices are etched into your very being. You carry their fire in your blood, in your marrow, in the breath that fills your lungs each morning. You owe it to them and to yourself to live with deliberate purpose, to not squander the miracle they fought so hard to preserve, to rise each day with reverence for the bloodline of perseverance that pulses in your veins, to honor the trials they endured by creating beauty, strength, and goodness in your time. Let their spirit fuel your determination, fortify your courage, and deepen your gratitude as you forge your own place in the unending chain of life. Begin every morning by remembering your ancestors. You do not need to know their names, just feel their silent presence behind you. Whisper a simple thank you and step into your day with intention and strength. Chapter 2. The Miracle of the Moment. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, wrote often about the fleeting nature of life. He reminds us that what stands between us and oblivion is fragile and brief. Yet within that fragility is the miracle of consciousness, the miracle of choice. Right now you are thinking, feeling, loving, dreaming. You are witnessing the miracle of consciousness, a phenomenon so intricate and rare that countless worlds may spin for all eternity without ever experiencing it. This is no small thing. To be alive, to be aware, to hold even a fleeting thought or tender emotion within you is a privilege beyond measure. The Stoics taught that we are not owed these gifts. They are fleeting privileges lent to us moment by moment. To squander them in petty anxieties, grievances, or resentments is to betray the sacred opportunity that has been placed into your hands. There are countless possible universes where you were never born, realities where one slight change in the past, one broken link in your ancestral chain, meant you would never breathe, never laugh, never think. One missed heartbeat, one lost moment across thousands of years, and everything that makes you who you are would never have come into being. Yet in this version of existence, against staggering odds, you are here. In this thin sliver of cosmic time, you are breathing, walking, yearning. You are thinking thoughts no one else can think, feeling emotions that are entirely your own. You are a living, breathing miracle stitched from the fabric of history, chance, and perseverance. What will you make of this extraordinary chance? Will you allow the miracle of your existence to pass unnoticed, hidden beneath routines and distractions? Will you sleepwalk through your days, blind to the wonder that pulses through your veins, the silent symphony that plays within your chest each time your heart beats? Or will you awaken fully, wide-eyed and alive, to the staggering beauty of simply being? Will you meet life with fierce gratitude, choosing to honor your existence through the courage of your actions, the depth of your love, and the integrity of your words? This moment, and each moment after it, demands an answer only you can give. Every breath you draw is not just an unconscious reflex. It is an opportunity, a sacred chance to practice virtue. Courage when fear tempts you to retreat. Justice when selfishness urges you to place yourself above others. Wisdom when confusion clouds your path. Temperance when the wild desires of the body and mind roar for domination. Each moment, no matter how plain or forgettable it may seem at first glance, carries within it the seeds of greatness, the potential for a life that is noble, resilient, and full of meaning. Each small decision to act with kindness instead of cruelty, to offer patience instead of frustration, to speak truth instead of deception, each of these is a seed planted deep in the soil of your soul. Over time, with care and persistence, these seeds grow. They stretch their roots through your being and blossom into a towering garden of character, beauty, and strength. This garden will endure the fiercest storms, the harshest winters, because it is rooted in conscious choice, in love for life itself. Every moment you live with intention is an invitation to create something enduring and profound, a legacy that will shine long after your footsteps have faded. Throughout the day, pause and take one full conscious breath. Inhale, hold, exhale. As you do, say quietly to yourself, "This moment is a miracle." Let it ground you back into appreciation and purposeful living. Chapter 3. Life's Fragile Gift. Epictetus taught that we should view everything we cherish as if it were a vase on the edge of a shelf, beautiful but delicate, precious precisely because it could fall and shatter at any moment. If we truly understand how fragile life is, how fleeting our moments are, we learn to hold them with reverence and to cherish them more profoundly than ever before. A healthy body, no matter how vigorous today, can be altered in an instant by an unexpected accident, by a sudden illness, by the silent, merciless turning of fate's unseen wheel. A loved one whose presence feels so permanent, so woven into the fabric of our daily lives, can be taken from our arms without warning, without preparation, leaving behind only memories and echoes where once there was laughter and warmth. Wealth, so painstakingly gathered through years of labor and sacrifice, can vanish in a heartbeat, disappearing like smoke before a strong, indifferent wind. Status, carefully cultivated over a lifetime, can crumble into dust with a single unforeseen event or moment of misjudgment. And yet, rather than despairing over this endless uncertainty, the Stoics found profound liberation in embracing it fully, seeing it as the foundation of true joy and resilience. They understood that when you see clearly that everything you possess, your body, your loved ones, your accomplishments, your dreams, is merely on loan, you cease to cling desperately. You loosen your grip, not from apathy, but from a profound reverence for the fleeting beauty of all things. You no longer seek to chain your blessings to you. Instead, you savor them deeply, love them fiercely, and appreciate them with a tenderness that only awareness of impermanence can foster. You savor deeply each conversation. You love more fiercely with the urgency of those who know time is short, and you appreciate more earnestly the small, unrepeatable miracles that make up an ordinary day. Life transforms from something to fear losing into something to marvel at, to honor, to worship in every fleeting breath, every trembling second that will never come again. Many who have walked through the crucible of severe trials, battling chronic illness that strips away physical strength, mourning the sudden loss of a beloved companion whose memory lingers in every empty chair, enduring the collapse of a lifelong dream that once fueled their purpose, facing betrayals they never imagined from those they trusted most, emerge not broken, but clarified, purified, and profoundly transformed. They are reborn through suffering, tempered like steel forged in fire. They shed the illusions that comfort and routine often cloaks us in, discarding the superficial distractions and petty vanities that once held sway over their hearts. In their place remains only the indestructible core of being, a soul stripped of pretense, raw, yet shining with authentic strength. No longer do they mistake possessions, accolades, or the fleeting applause of others for true wealth. They know now, beyond any doubt, that real wealth is found in integrity fiercely maintained, in love courageously given and humbly received, in the richness of moments lived fully and honestly, however painful or radiant those moments may be. They recognize with searing, almost blinding clarity what many living in ease and thoughtless routine so easily forget. that life is breathtakingly precious precisely because it is so fragile, so ephemeral, so heartbreakingly brief. It is this very uncertainty, this constant nearness of loss that most try to ignore, that sharpens the sweetness of every embrace, intensifies the gold of every sunrise seen with grateful eyes, deepens the weight and wonder of every simple act of kindness exchanged between two vulnerable hearts. Each smile shared becomes a rebellion against despair, each tear wiped away a silent vow that love endures, each hand held in quiet solidarity, a defiant assertion that even against the odds we choose to live, to feel, to cherish. Each act becomes an act of defiance against the impermanence that seeks to diminish us, a bold, unwavering declaration that life, though fleeting and uncertain, is endlessly, immeasurably valuable, if only we have the courage and presence to see it, to feel it without flinching, and to live fully within its fleeting, tender grasp. Each night before you sleep, reflect briefly on the impermanence of what you value. Do not do this to cause sadness, but to deepen your appreciation. Say silently, "Thank you for today. If tomorrow comes, I will meet it with gratitude." Chapter 4. The Abundance Within. Modern life tempts us into endless dissatisfaction. We scroll, we envy, we compare, losing sight of the immense richness that already fills our lives. Advertising, social media, and modern culture constantly whisper that happiness lies in the next possession, the next achievement, the next validation. But the Stoics saw abundance not in accumulation, but in recognition. They knew that true wealth is born from the mind that sees and appreciates what already is, rather than forever grasping for what is not. You are rich if you realize you already possess everything essential for a good life. If you can breathe freely without pain, you are rich beyond kings. If you can think deeply, imagine freely, and love openly, you are rich beyond the measure of gold or silver. If you can perceive beauty in a sunset painted across the sky, or find solace in the voice of a friend or the hand of a loved one, you are rich beyond what any empire could offer. The treasures that matter most are not bought, and they are never taken for granted by those who truly see. Happiness is not found in reaching for what lies beyond the horizon, chasing distant dreams, or yearning endlessly for what we do not possess. True happiness is found in savoring what stands firmly under your feet, in embracing the simple, profound miracles already woven into your daily life. It lives in the taste of warm bread freshly broken, in the laughter that bubbles up unexpectedly from a friend's joke, in the feeling of cool rain that kisses your skin, in the silent companionship of those who love you not for what you own, but for who you are. It thrives in the quiet moments often overlooked, the glow of morning light on a kitchen table, the sound of a bird singing outside your window, the feeling of a full breath moving through your body. The ordinary blessings of life, when seen with clear eyes and open hearts, become extraordinary, radiant with meaning and wonder. When you internalize this truth, when you shift your gaze from the endless mirage of distant illusions to the boundless abundance of the present, you realize that you cannot truly be impoverished, no matter your external circumstances. Your wealth is woven into the very fabric of being itself, waiting to be noticed, savored, and lived. Accessible with every breath, every heartbeat, every smile freely given or received. Happiness, then, becomes not a destination to arrive at after long striving, but a way of walking through the world, a way of seeing its endless gifts, a way of being fully, gloriously alive. Begin a daily practice of listing 3 things you are grateful for. They must be simple, elemental things. I can hear the rain outside. I laughed today. I have a friend who cares. Gratitude grows the soul rich. Chapter 5. Facing each day as sacred. When you wake up each morning, do not stumble into the day as though it were endless and unremarkable. Approach it as if it were a holy pilgrimage. This day, this sunrise, this chance to speak, to touch, to build, it is sacred. The Stoics began their days with deep, intentional reflection, anticipating both the blessings and the challenges that lay ahead. They did not stumble into their days blindly, but rather prepared their minds as a warrior prepares for battle, not in fear, but in readiness. They recognized that life would offer both joy and hardship, praise and insult, calm and turmoil. Their aim was to meet each event consciously, responding with virtue rather than being swept away by impulsive reactions. They sought to move through the world deliberately, embodying dignity, patience, resilience, and grace, understanding that each action, no matter how small, was another brick laid carefully in the lifelong construction of the temple of their character. No matter how mundane your duties may seem, folding laundry, sending emails, answering phone calls, driving to work, preparing meals, they are not trivial tasks, but sacred opportunities disguised as routine. Every moment is a sacred arena in which the soul is tempered, a chance to embody excellence even when no one else is watching. They are quiet tests of character that over time shape the depth of who you are. Each seemingly insignificant task is an invitation to practice mindfulness, to cultivate patience, to nurture diligence, and to affirm your commitment to living according to your highest principles. When you approach these moments with reverence and intentionality, you turn the simplest chores into profound expressions of virtue. These ordinary tasks become the true battlefield where the spirit is forged and where resilience, grace, and discipline are honed, just as much as in the grand public moments of life. It is in these often overlooked spaces that true greatness is born, not in dramatic victories, but in the daily acts of quiet excellence. By imbuing the simple routines of daily life with purpose and dignity, you align yourself with a tradition of conscious living that stretches back through the ages, a tradition upheld by the Stoics and the wise of every era. You will never get this exact day back. Every sunrise you witness is a unique, fleeting masterpiece that you will never unwrap again. Every conversation you have, every step you take, every thought that flickers through your mind. These are singular, unrepeatable moments, jewels strung along the fragile thread of time. Time, once past, is a river that cannot be sailed upstream. It rushes forward with or without your awareness. Make this day worthy of the miracle that it is. Seize it with both hands. Approach it with a full heart, open eyes, and the unwavering resolve to live it with courage, gratitude, and virtue. Treat each task, each interaction, each breath as a sacred opportunity to create something lasting and beautiful within yourself. Each morning, before you touch your phone or dive into tasks, sit silently for 2 minutes. Remind yourself, today is sacred, I will live it well. Set your intention to act with virtue in all things. Chapter 6. Strength in Acceptance. There will be days when the weight of life feels overwhelming. Illness, heartbreak, failure, these come for everyone. The Stoics did not teach that life would be easy. They taught that our power lies in our response. When we accept reality without resistance, we gain strength. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It means seeing things clearly, responding wisely, and acting virtuously regardless of external events. The miracle is not merely that suffering exists, for suffering is inevitable in a world as complex, as unpredictable, and as raw as ours. Suffering is stitched into the very fabric of life. It comes in many forms and at unexpected hours, striking the mighty and the meek alike. Yet the true miracle lies deeper, shimmering within the darkest recesses of our trials. It is the astonishing capacity of the human spirit to choose dignity even amidst devastation, to embody courage even when fear consumes the soul, to offer love even when the heart has been broken again and again. It is the sacred resilience that emerges when everything external has crumbled, and yet something internal stands unyielding. Even in the bleakest nights, when despair whispers its most seductive lies, when loneliness wraps itself around you like a shroud, there remains within each of us a spark, a flame, small yet indomitable, that refuses to be extinguished. This sacred and eternal light has the power to rise above bitterness and resentment, to turn agony into wisdom and loss into compassion. It is the miracle of standing tall with steady eyes and steady heart when the weight of the world presses hard upon your shoulders, refusing to let it deform the soul. It is the miracle of choosing kindness and mercy when life seems to summon cruelty and hatred. It is the miracle of still believing in beauty, still seeing the glow of a sunset, still hearing the laughter of a child, still feeling awe before the vast sky, even when everything within and around you seems irreparably broken. That inner power, that capacity for nobility and transcendence in the midst of suffering, is what defines the most resilient among us and reveals the profound sacredness of the human journey. It shows that we are not merely passive creatures battered by fate, but active participants in the creation of meaning, architects of hope, and guardians of an inner light that no force of the outer world can extinguish. When faced with a hardship, pause before reacting. Say to yourself, "This is not happening to me. It is happening for me to grow." Then ask, what virtue is needed here? Choose to act from strength rather than complaint. Chapter 7. The Fire Within. Inside you burns a fire that no external storm can extinguish. It is a flame kindled not by comfort, but by struggle, not by ease, but by the conscious choice to endure and rise. The Stoics called this your inner citadel, the fortress of character, resilience, and reason that stands unshaken regardless of fortune's twists. It is a stronghold built stone by stone, experience by experience, with the mortar of wisdom and the iron of perseverance. You carry within you the sacred and formidable capacity to endure when others crumble, to rise when others fall, and to find deep, resounding meaning even in the darkest, coldest hours of life. The miracle is not found in a life free from adversity. Such a life does not exist. The miracle is found in your ability to face adversity without losing your soul, in discovering the unbreakable parts of yourself precisely because of the storm. Hardship does not define you. Your response to it does. It reveals the strength you did not know you possessed, the clarity you did not know you needed. When you understand with your whole being that your peace, your stability, and your power come from within, from the fortress you have cultivated in your heart and mind, you become truly untouchable by circumstance. Success cannot intoxicate you, failure cannot destroy you, praise cannot inflate you, criticism cannot deflate you. You walk through life as a mountain walks through storms, unbending and unyielding, absorbing both the sunlight and the tempest, standing dignified against the ravages of time and chance. Each time adversity arises, visualize a flame within your chest. No matter what blows against it, the flame dances and grows stronger. Remind yourself, the fire within me is stronger than the storm around me. Chapter 8. Living by Virtue. The Stoics taught that the only true good in life is virtue. Fame, wealth, pleasure, and comfort are indifferent. They are neither inherently good nor bad, but simply tools that can be used wisely or foolishly, depending on the heart that wields them. What matters, above all else, is the character you shape through your choices, through your willingness to face life with integrity, courage, and wisdom, even when it would be easier to bend to selfishness or fear. Living by virtue means striving each day, in every action and every thought, to be honest when dishonesty would be more convenient, brave when fear tempts you to shrink, compassionate when bitterness whispers to harden your heart, and wise when folly shouts louder than reason. It means aligning your actions, consistently and deliberately, with your highest self. Not the fleeting, volatile emotions of the moment, but the enduring values you have chosen to uphold. Virtue demands that you master yourself, that you rise above impulse, and that you seek excellence not for applause, but for the sake of your own soul. Your life, then, becomes not a random series of events, but a masterpiece, an artwork sculpted with daily chisel strikes of character, patience, sacrifice, and courage. Each decision you make is a stroke upon the canvas of your existence. The miracle is not merely to exist, to breathe and to move, but to choose consciously to live beautifully, nobly, excellently, day after day, despite all temptations to live otherwise. It is the ongoing miracle of crafting a life that is worthy not of worldly accolades, but of your own deepest respect. Choose one virtue each week: courage, patience, kindness, and focus deliberately on embodying it in small daily acts. Watch as your soul strengthens and your life aligns with deeper meaning. Chapter 9. Death as a Teacher. The Stoics meditated often on mortality, not to become morbid, but to sharpen their appreciation for life. Memento mori, they whispered. Remember that you must die. Every breath you take is a reminder that time is precious beyond comprehension. Each inhale and exhale is a silent, rhythmic signal urging you not to delay, not to postpone the life that is calling you to be lived fully today. Every sunset that ignites the sky with fire and gold is a spectacle that may not come again, a masterpiece that you are privileged to witness just once in all the expanse of time. Every hug you give and receive, every word spoken to a loved one, carries a weight beyond what the moment may reveal. They are threads of connection that could, in their way, be the last expression of a bond cherished but often unspoken. Far from being a grim meditation, this truth is an urgent awakening, an invitation to meet each day, each moment, with tenderness, reverence, and profound gratitude. Death, that inevitable horizon which we all must approach, teaches us something profound that life alone often forgets to emphasize: that there is absolutely no time to waste on bitterness, no justification for pettiness, no rationalization for postponing love, forgiveness, or kindness. It strips away the illusions of permanence and reminds us that each breath is a priceless, vanishing treasure. It reveals the utter absurdity of clinging to anger, of nursing grudges, of living half-heartedly, and of choosing distraction over connection, fear over courage, habit over passion. It presses upon us the urgency to live wholly, knowing that the river of time flows in only one direction, and every moment lost to resentment or regret is a moment never reclaimed. Life demands not a fraction of your heart, but its entirety. It asks not for your distracted and divided presence, but for your full, vibrant, undivided attention, your willingness to immerse yourself completely in the brief, brilliant opportunity you have been given. It calls you to lean fully into existence, to throw yourself wholly into the experience of living without reserve or hesitation. It urges you to greet each day not as a tedious obligation, but as a singular chance to contribute something meaningful, to weave a thread of beauty into the larger tapestry of life. To love fiercely and unapologetically, to express your affection without delay, to offer forgiveness even when it feels difficult, to seize every opportunity to create joy and meaning, to choose presence over preoccupation. It calls you to dream boldly, not postponing your ambitions until some imagined better time, but daring to pursue them now, to act on the knowledge that the sands of your own hourglass slip steadily away. It calls you to awaken to the sacredness of now, to live as if each day were both the first and the last, because in many ways it truly is. Each sunrise you witness, each breath you take, each hand you hold, is a miracle never to be repeated, a fleeting flash of existence begging not merely to be observed, but to be honored, savored, and fully embraced with gratitude, humility, and joy. Each evening, reflect briefly. If I do not wake tomorrow, did I live today in a way I am proud of? Let this reflection guide you toward deeper, more vibrant living. Chapter 10. Gratitude as a daily practice. Gratitude is not a passive feeling that comes and goes with the tides of fortune. It is an active, conscious discipline, a muscle of the soul that must be exercised daily. It is the deliberate and often courageous choice to focus your heart and mind on blessings rather than lacks, to see abundance where others see scarcity, and to magnify the good rather than brood over the imperfect. Gratitude demands mindfulness. It demands a slowing down, a turning away from the endless chase for more, and an anchoring in the simple, profound gifts that already fill your life. The Stoics knew that a grateful heart is an invincible heart, a fortress of peace amid the chaos of the world. No misfortune, no loss, no external blow can truly conquer someone who sees life itself, every breath, every sunrise, every shared laugh, as an undeserved sacred gift. Gratitude fortifies the soul against despair and nourishes it with a quiet, unshakable joy. Gratitude transforms ordinary days into holy days. It turns simple meals into celebratory feasts, everyday conversations into moments of genuine connection, and breaths into whispered prayers of wonder. It makes the mundane luminous. It sharpens your vision so that you begin to recognize that every moment, even the challenging ones, carries within it a hidden blessing. Gratitude does not erase sorrow or difficulty, but it infuses life with a richness that suffering cannot destroy and time cannot diminish. Create a gratitude journal. Each night, write down 3 moments from your day you are thankful for. Let this practice train your mind to see life through the lens of wonder and abundance. Chapter 11. Embracing simplicity. The world clamors endlessly for more possessions to hoard, more status to chase, more distractions to numb the heart and mind. It shouts that fulfillment is found somewhere beyond the present moment, in the endless accumulation of things, accolades, and shallow entertainments. Yet true richness, as the Stoics so wisely understood, lies not in piling up more, but in embracing less clutter, less noise, less striving for what does not satisfy. The Stoics valued a simple life because it frees the soul from the heavy chains of unnecessary desires. When you are not burdened by endless wants, when you are not shackled to the restless hunger for what lies just beyond reach, you are able to turn your gaze inward and focus on what truly matters: relationships that nourish you, growth that strengthens you, virtue that ennobles you, and peace that roots you. A simple life creates the sacred space needed for reflection, gratitude, and deep connection, both to yourself and to the world around you. Simplicity does not mean deprivation, it means clarity. It means choosing deliberately what deserves your time, your energy, your love. It means living intentionally, with a discerning eye that separates the meaningful from the trivial. It means savoring deeply the small moments, a shared meal, a quiet walk, a heartfelt conversation, that are so easily overlooked when life is overrun with excess. True simplicity is an art and a discipline, one that reveals the astonishing abundance already present when the noise of more finally falls silent. Choose one area of your life this week, your closet, your schedule, your digital space, and simplify it. Create room for stillness, focus, and joy. Chapter 12. The Power of Presence. In a world of endless distractions, where attention is constantly being pulled in 1,000 directions by glowing screens and relentless noise, presence is revolutionary. To be truly present is to rebel against the tide of mindless living. The Stoics taught that life happens now, not in the regrets of the past, which cannot be undone, nor in the fantasies of the future, which may never come to pass. They urged us to anchor ourselves firmly in the current moment, to treat now as the only certainty we truly possess. To be present is to be vividly, authentically alive. It is to fully taste your coffee, savoring the warmth and richness with your complete attention, instead of rushing mindlessly through the experience. It is to truly hear a friend's laughter, feeling the joy reverberate through your own soul, rather than thinking ahead to what you will say next. It is to fully feel the breeze against your skin, to notice the softness of light filtering through the trees, to experience life with the kind of wonder usually reserved for the very young or the deeply wise. Presence turns the ordinary extraordinary. It transforms routine interactions into sacred exchanges, mundane errands into mindful journeys, and quiet evenings into moments of deep peace. It deepens joy by allowing you to truly inhabit it, softens sorrow by grounding you in the truth that emotions ebb and flow, and roots you firmly, unshakably, in the miracle of existence itself. It allows you to become a participant in life rather than a mere observer, and in doing so, enriches every beat of your precious, irreplaceable heart. Practice single tasking. When you eat, just eat. When you listen, just listen. Let yourself be fully absorbed in the moment. Notice how richness floods into your life. Chapter 13. Compassion for others. The Stoics believed deeply in the brotherhood of humanity. They understood that we are not isolated beings, drifting alone through life, but rather intricate threads woven into a vast, shared fabric of existence. Each action, each thought, each moment of compassion or cruelty ripples outward, affecting the entire tapestry. Recognizing our interconnectedness reminds us that to care for another is to care for ourselves, that the strength of one thread supports the strength of the whole. Compassion flows naturally when you open your eyes to the invisible burdens that every person you encounter is carrying. Behind every face you pass on the street is a story of hope, fear, heartbreak, and perseverance. Just as you are striving, struggling, dreaming, and enduring your private battles, so is everyone else. Every soul is weathering storms that are unseen but deeply felt, and every heart is seeking kindness, even when pride or pain obscures the asking. Kindness, far from being a weakness, is a profound strength. It is an act of wisdom, a courageous choice to see yourself reflected in the faces of others, and to respond not with judgment or indifference, but with generosity, patience, and grace. True kindness does not diminish you. It enlarges you. It connects you to the highest, most resilient parts of yourself and reminds you that, no matter the chaos of the world, you have the power to choose compassion over cruelty, understanding over disdain, and love over fear. Each day, perform one intentional act of kindness, a sincere compliment, a helping hand, a moment of listening. Let compassion become your natural response. Chapter 14. Perseverance through trials. Life will test you. It will test your patience, your endurance, your spirit, and your commitment to your own ideals. There will be days when everything feels uphill, when even the smallest tasks seem monumental, when your strength feels utterly spent and the path ahead looks impossibly steep. You will be tempted to doubt yourself, to question your worth, to wonder whether it is even worth the effort to continue. The Stoics remind us, Resilience is not about never falling, never failing, or never feeling pain. It is about always rising, always standing up again, no matter how many times life knocks you down. True strength is not in being untouched by hardship, but in facing it with unwavering spirit. Every difficulty faced with courage becomes a stone in the foundation of your character. Each trial endured with an open heart, each struggle met without surrender, strengthens you from within and transforms you into someone more capable, more compassionate, more wise. Every setback endured with dignity becomes a badge of honor, a testament to your perseverance, and a silent oath to yourself that you will not be broken by adversity, but shaped into something greater by it. You are stronger than you know, far more resilient than you realize, carrying within you a depth of endurance that only reveals itself when tested by life's fiercest storms, the hidden reserves of strength that surface when all else seems lost. You are a miracle not because you walk an easy road or live a life free of scars, but precisely because you have faced difficulty, pain, and loss, and yet still you stand, still you hope, still you rise. You have within you the astonishing sacred power to endure the impossible, to adapt to the unimaginable, and to transform suffering into strength, wounds into wisdom, adversity into purpose. Each scar is a story of survival, each hardship a testament to the soul's incredible elasticity. You are not just a survivor of your hardships, you are an artist, a sculptor of your soul, carving resilience, beauty, and depth into your very being with every hardship you overcome, every fear you face, every night you survive, and every dawn you welcome anew. It is in this relentless rising, in this fierce, unyielding refusal to be defined or diminished by defeat, that your true miracle unfolds and shines for all to see, illuminating not just your own path, but serving as a guiding light for others lost in their own battles. Each time you fall and choose to rise again, you affirm a truth larger than pain, a timeless truth that echoes through the hearts of the brave, the undeniable truth that you are unbreakable in spirit, that you are a force more enduring than the trials that seek to break you. Every stumble, every tear, every silent struggle becomes a part of your sacred testament to resilience. Each time you refuse to be hardened by suffering, each time you choose compassion over bitterness and hope over despair, you embody the miracle of the human heart, which can remain tender, open, and full of grace even after being shattered and rebuilt countless times. You do not merely survive your hardships, you are transfigured by them, refined into a being of greater strength, wisdom, and empathy. Through every heartache, you learn the delicate art of mending with gold, transforming your scars into veins of power rather than wounds of weakness. You are a living testament to the enduring, indomitable power of the human spirit, a shining beacon of hope, courage, and perseverance for all who struggle, for all who doubt, and for all who, at times, forget their own strength. You stand as a luminous reminder that the miracle of life is not found in its ease or in moments of unbroken happiness, but rather in its resilience, in its capacity to face the unimaginable and still rise, to stand upright against overwhelming tides, and to rebuild from ruins more beautifully than before. You represent the fierce, radiant capacity for renewal against all odds, the spark of the eternal fire that refuses to be extinguished. You embody the undying spirit that dares to hope even when the sky is blackened by despair, that dares to dream amid devastation, that dares to love even when love has been torn and tested. Your endurance is not simply survival, it is a deliberate, courageous act of creation, of choosing to weave hope, beauty, and meaning from the raw fibers of pain and uncertainty. You are proof that darkness never has the final word, that suffering does not define the soul unless we allow it to. Your scars are not signs of weakness, but of wisdom earned and compassion deepened. Your existence, your journey, your endless rising are living proof that light is always possible, that even in the deepest nights, when the world seems cloaked in darkness and uncertainty, a new dawn patiently waits to break on the horizon. They reveal that the soul's true nature is not to be defeated, not to shrink back in fear, not to cower before adversity, but rather to summon a strength greater than fear, to expand its capacity for courage, to deepen its well of compassion, and to shine even more fiercely through the fractures that once seemed like breaking points. You are not merely enduring life in silent survival. You are participating in its most sacred dance, the dance of perseverance, of transformation, of renewal. With every trial you overcome, you gather light within yourself, light that does not just heal you, but radiates outward, illuminating the paths of others. You become a beacon for those who have lost hope, a living testament that even after shattering, the soul can be reforged stronger, richer, more luminous. Each scar becomes a story not of defeat, but of transcendent victory, a record of battles fought with dignity and spirit intact. You are embodying the miracle of becoming more luminous, more loving, more magnificent with every challenge you overcome, rising ever higher, not despite your trials, but because of them. This is the sacred alchemy of your life, turning every sorrow into wisdom, every hardship into grace, every fall into a flight greater than you ever imagined possible. When you encounter difficulty, reframe it. This is my training ground. This is how I grow. Step forward, even if slowly. Trust the process. Chapter 15. Ending each day with reverence. As you end each day, do not collapse into sleep unconsciously, lost in distraction, weariness, or the endless buzz of unfinished tasks. Close the day with deep reverence, honoring it as a sacred, irreplaceable chapter of your life that will never return. Carve out a few quiet moments for yourself, away from noise, screens, and the rush of obligations, and sit with the living memory of the day you just lived. Let the memories rise slowly, without judgment. Reflect not just on your successes, but on your mistakes, on the moments of discomfort that stretched you, on the small choices where your character was quietly tested without anyone else seeing. Reflect also on where you faltered, where fear, anger, pride, impatience, or doubt crept in and pulled you away from your better nature. Name these moments honestly, without self-hatred or denial, for it is in seeing clearly that growth is made possible. Every slip is a signal, a teacher guiding you toward a wiser version of yourself. Then, with just as much honesty, reflect on your triumphs, where you showed patience when it would have been easier to snap, where you chose kindness when indifference tempted you, where you summoned strength when weakness seemed inevitable. These victories, even the smallest ones, are the hidden bricks of greatness laid quietly within your soul. Seneca advised nightly examination of the soul. What did I do well today? What could I have done better? What will I do differently tomorrow? These questions are not an indictment, but an invitation. They are sacred tools, designed not to shame, but to sharpen you. They call you to live with deliberate consciousness, to craft your existence not as a series of random reactive moments, but as a masterwork of character, purpose, and integrity, shaped lovingly by your own hands. Each day is a complete and finished chapter of your life, not a rough draft to be edited later, not a rehearsal for some imagined future, but a living story, inked permanently by the choices you made, written and sealed by the setting sun. Each breath, each conversation, each small act of kindness or impatience, each word spoken or left unsaid, all have been woven irrevocably into the fabric of your existence. You cannot reclaim a single hour once it has passed. It slips silently into eternity, carrying with it the imprint of your presence. End each day not in exhaustion and forgetfulness, not as a weary collapse into oblivion, but with deliberate gratitude. Gratitude for the chance to breathe, to love, to weep, to strive, to stumble and stand again. Be grateful for the full spectrum of experience, the struggles that stretched you, the joys that lifted you, the quiet moments that softened you. Each experience has been a gift, shaping the contours of your soul in ways both visible and unseen. End it with careful reflection, with a sacred pause that strengthens your soul layer by layer. Reflect on the battles you fought within yourself and the victories, however small, that you earned. Reflect on the lessons whispered by the day's triumphs and mistakes. In doing so, you are not just closing a day, you are sculpting your character, building an inner monument to conscious, courageous living. Let each day become a precious brick in the foundation of a life well lived, a sacred testament to meaning, beauty, and unstoppable strength. Strength born not from ease or comfort, but from the relentless pursuit of living with purpose, authenticity, and a fierce devotion to becoming all that you are capable of being.